So as we continue the conversation about design and themes, themes is a solution that we introduced this spring as a way of delivering a lot of new capabilities and new features. It used to be that when you wanted a change made to your site, you really had to call us. We had to engage with one of our front-end developers to do that, and depending upon the time and the workload, that could take some time to do. So we realized that was a definite area for improvement. And so I've got Devin Smith with us to share feedback on that. So Devin, I will stop sharing and turn it over to you.
All right, thank you, Keith. For those that don't know me, my name is Devin Smith. I'm the front-end development manager here at PrestoSports. As Keith mentioned, early this year we started a project to where we wanted to create themes for our system to be able to deploy new clients onto our system as well as refresh existing clients. We saw a need to speed that process up. So a theme in our system basically is just a layer on top of the existing system. So nothing will change with how the data is entered on the site, whether it's menus, schedules, rosters, it's all the same. We simply take a theme that's been pre-constructed, applied to our site or applied to the system, and then we apply it to your individual site. What's unique about our themes is some people may want to, you look at a theme, you might think that it's a basic design and it's going to be the same across the board. But the way we've constructed our themes, once you apply it to a site, there's so many different configurations that you can do on the site. The header, the footer, and then the main content. Each one of them has its own style that you can apply. So you can change the header and give it 3 to 4 different looks. You can do the same with the footer. Then when you actually look at the main contents of the site, which would be your news rotator, the schedule, recent news, featured athletes, things like that. Each one of those themselves also have unique styles. So you can just imagine the combination of setups anyway that you can configure within your theme and on your site. So a theme can be present on 10 different sites, and a standard user probably wouldn't know the difference that they're using the exact same theme. Charles created a video for us that we'll play here shortly that's kind of going to go into detail with how the themes are applied to the site, as well as what I just spoke about, all the customization that can be done on it. So I'll turn it over to Katie and I'll let her go ahead and start this video.
Welcome to PrestoSports and Quick Launch. My name is Charles Campbell, Director of Operations with PrestoSports. I'm excited, and it's my pleasure to demonstrate and talk a little bit about our newest website product. Quick Launch is Presto's brand new theme-driven process and can accommodate for brand new sites, full site redesigns, or quick site refreshes. In the following demo, I will showcase 3 different design layout options available today, along with showing you the configuration tools and extremely powerful software behind it. Before we get started with the demonstration, it's important to note that with the quick change process, we have drastically reduced the time for site creation or site redesign. Traditionally, our legacy process was between 12 to 16 weeks. With quick change, a new or redesigned site can be done in now days, not weeks. With that, let's get started with the demonstration. The first layout I'd like to show you is entitled Albatross. And I will just show you the features of this particular layout, and we will take a look at how Albatross may benefit you. So as you can see, we have our traditional header along with a news rotator. Going down a bit further, we have a scoreboard option with latest results or next events. We have a banner here that shows the next event for your upcoming events with a countdown clock example. Standing section, recent news, which you can certainly load more and more of those recent news articles. Athlete of the week, or featured athlete, if that is something that you would like on your site, this is an example of what that might look like. Recent videos, an example of a parallax, photo galleries, full sponsor section, and finally social stream, which in this case we are utilizing Twitter for the purpose of this demo. And finally, your footer. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the secondary option, change up. As you'll notice, with this example, we've included a splash page. Yes, those are available on all three options we have available today. Now let's take a closer look at change up and its design elements. You'll notice some slight variation. In this example, we have all of our main headings to the far left and all the information dead center or towards the right. Next event, here's another example of a countdown clock. Schedules and or results, photo gallery session, videos, another example of an athlete of the week or featured athlete. We can incorporate standings, and finally, once again, social media. And lastly, your footer. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our third option available today, which is entitled Ballistra. Ballistra right away is an eye-catching process. You'll notice that the scoreboard is directly at the top, featuring your most recent events and scores. A different look and feel for this news rotator, as well as we've combined these three sections, recent news, photo gallery, and videos, into one location. So all you have to do is tab over and click on the next available section, and those items will populate. Here's another example of a great countdown clock scenario showing two teams getting ready to face off. Standings, another example of athlete of the week. Here's another example of a parallax and what that might look like for your site. And finally, once again, a different look and feel for social media. This time, we're utilizing Facebook as the example. And finally, your footer. Now we've had a brief moment to take a look at the three different options available today. It's one key note I want to point out is that PrestoSports is constantly working on new outlines and new layouts. We are currently building our fourth one, and that will be available mid-August. Now that we had a chance to review these three options, let's go ahead and look at the tools behind them and how we can make changes to any one of our different layout options. So going back to theme Albatross, you'll notice that this news rotator has a smaller picture, and we're going to be listing the feature stories next to it. I like that layout, but let's say I just want to change it for a different look and feel for my site. It's simple. We go into our web management tool and we find the news rotator section. And you'll notice right in here, I have different layout options. I have layout 1, 2, or 3. Currently 1 is being deployed on the site, but let's go ahead and launch layout number 2. It's simple as scrolling down and saving my changes. And we'll go back to our site and refresh the page. And you'll notice right away, within a matter of seconds, I've drastically improved and changed the look and feel of this particular layout with a new, different look and feel of the rotator. But that's not all. We can literally make thousands of configuration changes to suit your needs and for your site. I can change the fonts, I can change the color, I can change the text, the headings, everything that you would like to alter or adjust, we can suit your needs. Colors, logos, those are easy, simple things to change, and they can be done in a matter of seconds with our customer care team. Everything is truly at the power of your fingertips. Let's take another look at how quickly we can make a change. In this example, our header has our logo far left, and our drop-down menu is right next to it. But let's see, I'd like to see a different look and feel for that. Let's take a look at our options. We're going to go back into our back-end system, and we're going to look for our header section. And you'll notice that right now, option number 1 is being deployed on the site, I'm going to go ahead and choose option 3. We're going to go ahead and save our changes, come back to our site and refresh. And now you'll see that the header is completely different. I have my logo dead center, and I have my drop-down menus either left or right. By a simple change in our backend system and configuration tool, we were able to drastically change the look and feel for this particular layout. Now, many of you are going to be choosing a specific package with PrestoSports, and that package will determine how many different components or modules are visible on your site. Let's say that you have chosen a package that produces 3 different components or modules, one being scoreboard, one being standings, and maybe one being featured athlete or athlete of the week. Let's say, for example, that 6 months down the road, you decide you're not going to deploy your athlete of the week and you want to swap it out for a different component. You have that freedom and that flexibility. And it's as simple as us turning on or turning off that particular component or module. Let me show you how it's done. Let's say for the purposes of this example, I no longer want to show my athlete of the week. I'm going to come into the section where we make those changes. I'm going to find my featured athlete section, and I'm simply just going to disable this particular component. I'm going to save my changes, come back to my main site, and relaunch. Now you'll notice within a matter of seconds, I've literally hid that particular component and is no longer visible on my site. If I want to swap that out for another component that I didn't have previously, I can certainly just enable that new component, add my content into the PrestoSports CMS system, and then we're off and running. It's that simple. You truly have powerful tools at your fingertips. Any one of our specialists and our client care team, along with our implementation specialists and our client success team, can certainly assist with these configuration changes. Now, there's one last thing I'd like to show you, and this is particularly exciting for our streaming customers with Stretch Live, or those that are interested in live video on your site. Let's take a look. We have a brand new product called Stretch EP. With Stretch EP, it's truly an embeddable player that goes right on your website. So the days of directing your fans and your customers to a separate portal or a separate location are over. You can have everything truly in one spot. In this example, we don't have any current live events happening today, but we do have some preloaded on-demand events. And you'll notice that I can just choose one of those events, come over to the player, hit play, and then my event starts right in the middle of the website. Now, with Stretch EP, this is currently only being utilized for our free-to-view events. We are, however, working on our pay-per-view player, and that will be coming out in new releases. So please stay in touch with us on those new releases and when that becomes available. If this is something of interest to you, we urge you to reach out and contact us at PrestoSports. There's many different ways you can do that. If you're an existing customer, you can just reach out to our customer care team at web@prestosports.com and ask questions or inquire about this. If you're wanting to go through a redesign or you want to start a brand new site for yourself that you are currently not a customer of PrestoSports, it's simple. You just reach out to our sales team at sales@prestosports.com. We'd be more than happy to provide further details and get you set up. On behalf of our entire operations team, I'm very pleased with this product. I think you guys will be too. We're super excited about it, and we're looking forward to servicing your website needs. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Katie. I will open it up for Q&A if anyone has any questions.
There was a question that came in. How do we get this on our site? Is there an extra cost? I believe it was referring to the embeddable player. So I would just say email our care team and they can get you set up. There's no extra cost for this. Obviously, you would just need to be a Stretch Live client.
Emery, so while we're touching on Stretch Live, so the way that it's shown here is the default screen that they go to is the Today screen. So obviously, with a lot of sports being canceled this fall or postponed this fall, there may not be live content or events that are coming up today. So when you're embedding the player, you have the option of defining whether it's the Today screen or the on-demand screen. So if we wanted to just set it up so that it's showing on-demand events, we could do that as well. Or if you, for example, you wanted to embed the player into the baseball screen for the baseball page, for example, you can filter the events based on the sport. So our team can give you a code that basically just displays baseball. And so only the baseball events would come up in the player. If you wanted to just display an event, so for example, maybe you have an award ceremony or a naming ceremony or something of that nature, you could just display the video itself. So you don't have to display the selection process. There's a lot of capabilities and a lot of flexibility with that. So as we mentioned, this is right now in beta. We'll be releasing this, Stretch Live EP will be releasing in the next few weeks, in about the next month. Everything will be wrapped up on it. As far as those who use pay-per-view, so that's slated for November to have that work completed. So by spring, when you're displaying events after Christmas, you'll be able to use Stretch Live EP with pay-per-view, order free to view, and everything will allow you to do everything, whether it's selecting a sport, selecting an individual game, and displaying that.
We had a question coming from Chris. Are custom designs still an option? Yes, custom designs are still an option. I believe it requires client to be signed up on a premium package. Can you confirm that, Anne-Marie?
Excuse me?
Well, I heard the question, so this is Keith. I can answer it for you. So there's two options. So we of course always still allow for a custom design. So there is a custom design just the way that we've traditionally done it, and then there's also the option for a custom template. So if, for example, there's a conference that we're working with now that wants everyone in that organization to have the same or a very similar website. So we have the ability to set up a template just for a conference or just for an individual school that's customized to their needs. Because that is extra work, we will sometimes charge for that extra work. Really, until we get a library of themes built up, we're not charging for that. So it is something that we're able to do. If you want a theme that's specific to you, so for example, you come to us and you say, I want to be different from everyone else. I don't want anyone else to use my theme. Can you do that? And the answer is absolutely we can. Since that is work that's only specific to one organization, we do charge a fee for that. But as far as using the themes, it's a part of our normal redesign process. So if you want to use a theme when you're doing a redesign on your site, we're simply charging for the work of the redesign. There's no extra fee for that. And then once you're using the theme, you can make changes just simply by contacting our client care team. Part of the goal of this is in the next few months to release some of that functionality out to you so that you're able to make these changes on your own. It's a bit of a risky proposition for us, so we're working through some of those elements because if we give you a great deal of flexibility to change your site in any way that you want, you could do something bad, for lack of a better term. So we're working through how do we put the right safeguards in place so that the website still looks great, you're going through the testing, you're making sure that accessibility is considered. And so a lot of that's been built into the product already. But as we fine tune it, we're asking that you contact our client care team so they can make the changes. But ultimately the goal is to provide you with all the flexibility that Charles showed in his demo. And maybe a quick note on why is Charles not here. Charles decided he needed to go fishing this week, so he's taking a little bit of vacation. So. Any other questions?
Another question we have, can we use this in our designs that are in current development?
Yes, we can. If there's a design, if you're already in the process of either a redesign or a new site and you've already came up with a design, yes, we can onboard that onto our theme system.